The first thing you should understand is that there's very little difference between a politician and a businessman. Businessmen care a little bit more about money than they care about power. Politicians care a little bit more about power than they care about money. And I was always taught that most politicians would promise you their mother if they thought it would help them get elected. So, whenever a politician says yes, he means maybe. And whenever he says maybe, he means no. And whenever he says no, he's no politician. And what aggravates me most about Polytricks is when they get held to an entirely different standard. For example, how could the same man that propagates and initiates wars win the same award as Dr. Martin Luther King? Especially when the prize committee were the first to admit that he had yet to even do anything. Like they were trying to inspire him to be peaceful, which apparently didn't work because we're still in Iraq, expanded in Afghanistan, still in Pakistan, still with AFRICOM, initiated Libya, and reopened Guantanamo Bay. And mind you, the particular presidential term that I'm speaking of at this writing is only about halfway. But I have more sense than to blame one man. And I always thought it was weird that people could accept that major corporations have 50-year plans, but then turn around and believe that an entire country is run by the 4-year whims of presidents. Especially when their top advisors have been global power insiders since long before most of us were even alive. And the funny thing is they'll tell you all about it. In their books and their interviews, they hardly even lie. They'll tell you they tricked Russia into going into Afghanistan. They'll tell you that they pretty much empowered and trained Al-Qaeda and the Taliban. They'll tell you they had influence in so many countries, including Panama, Nicaragua, Iraq, and Iran. And at least since the time of President Carter, the same advisors have been holding and forcing every president's hand. So they've been both defenders and enemies. And any president that grew his own mind would have to first be inclined to perhaps go the way of the Kennedys. And keep in mind that lobbies, PACs, and think tanks have more power than any one man. So if the topic is government, then the other thing you should understand is to put your faith in global level Polytricks is no different than also putting your faith in becoming damned. Did I upset y'all yet? No? Okay, I'm not really working on it, but it could happen. All right, how about this one then? All the stuff that I'm doing really is all new. I just started performing it in the last week. I told Acey I wrote about 6 poems in my head. So a lot of the stuff that you're hearing, I haven't really performed before. I'll do the other stuff too.